All right, this one over here, I'm gonna pick on Sean.
Wouldn't it just be the same?
Yeah, what do you reckon?
So it would be x
Yep.
to the e to the power of x.
Yeah, like that. Happy with that? I see some nodding. Yep, that's what we want to see. All right, moving on to the next one. What's up?
Nothing awesome.
Huh?
I disagree.
You disagree? Controversy. All right,
Okay.
why do you disagree, Cameron?
We're differentiating it's d dx, so x, but the fact that there's another x there doesn't matter. We've still got to differentiate. We've got to use the product rule.
Why do we have to use the product rule?
Because we're multiplying x and e to the x.
So I guess the question is this, right? What makes this different to this? Because visually it looks very similar, right? But as Cameron is saying, they're actually quite different. And it's very subtle. But the fact that this is a number and the fact that this is a variable means that these are there's two very different approaches that we have to take here. And you learnt in year 11 that there's something called the product rule, right? And the product rule is VU dash plus UV dash. And you guys are really good at memorizing the product rule and using the product rule even. But I think the hardest part about the product rule is actually identifying when you have to use it, right? Because maybe if you had something that was a bit more obvious, like I can't remember, maybe you had something like this. Like that's very clearly kind of two different things multiplied together. But over here, it's a bit more subtle why this is two functions multiplied together. It's because this is a variable and this is also a variable here. Does that make sense, right? So these are two variables that are two functions even that are multiplied together. That's why you have to use product rule here. So be very careful with ones like this, right? So be very careful because even though it looks like you could just apply the same rule, it's not going to be quite the same approach, okay? Good pick up, Cameron. Do you want to fix it up for us?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll do the full thing. Let
Yep.
b equal x.
Oh, yep.
Unless there's, well, probably quicker ways to do
Sure.
it.
Yep.
Like b equals x and therefore b dash equals 1.
Yep.
U equals e to the x and so is dash.
Yep, perfect.
Yes.
And then I'll write down over here, I'm running out of room, but yeah. Okay, and then,
So the derivative would be u dash
Yep.
plus u b dash, which is x times e to the x
Mhm.
plus e to the x times 1.
so x times e to the x plus e to the x times 1, which is just going to be
x e to the x plus e to the x.
perfect, yep. Now, when you looked at the work solutions and things like that, Maths and Focus, they may go an extra step here. So I'll move this out of your way. Oh, that's blocking you. Don't know if that actually helps or not. They may do an extra step and they may do something like this. Yes, factorize, good. They will say, okay, there's two e to the x's here. I can take that out. What gets left here, I get left with x. What gets left here, I get left with 1, right? So again, I'm actually happy with either of these forms. But just so that you're aware, if your answer looks slightly different, just kind of think about, hey, do I need to factorize or is there something else I need to do or something like that, right? Okay, cool. Any questions about that so far? There's another one here I want you to try, part 6. Can you have a go at that one for me? I'll put another couple up and then I'll just walk around and make sure everyone's okay with everything. What did you start by doing?
I started by writing out the quotient rule.
Yep.
Yep.
So this is what you had here?
VU dash
Yep.
minus V dash U.
Yeah, so VUV according to Cameron if you want a way to memorize this one.
Yep. And
Is that right?
So you write it out. Y dash equals
Yep.
e to x.
So let's say that's y equals to. Okay, so e to the
E
x.
to the x.
Yep.
And then times by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, whatever.
And then minus e to the x
Yep.
times by 2x plus 3
Mm-hmm.
over e to the x squared.
Cool. So like this.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I expand that out, so it's 2e to the x
Yep.
minus 2x e to the x
Mm-hmm.
plus 3e to the x
Yep.
over e to the 2x.
Oh, okay, so you simplify that a little bit. E to the 2x. Yeah. So is everyone clear why you can do that? So all he's doing is just multiplying the powers there. So he's writing as e to the 2x. Yep. Cool. I'm running out of room, but I'm going to go up the top here. Someone's got that question, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Keep going. Oh, yeah.
Why is the plus 3 e to the x positive?
Oh, yeah, what's going on here?
1.
Okay, good. Be careful with bracket expansions, yeah? So remember. Sorry, what was that?
Can I get merit?
Of course you can get a merit. Thank you, Theo, for pointing out my mistake. And this is, what was my first promise to you guys, year 12? I can promise you I will always make mistakes. Right? That's good. So, yeah, so negative. Any other mistakes? We're good? Anyone else want to pick on Liam? No, that's good. Anything else?
And then, well, that's good for that step.
Yeah.
And then I'll simplify the top to be negative e to the x minus 2x e to the x.
Yep, cool.
All over e to the 2x.
Cool.
And then factorise the top.
Oh, you can factorize it, yep.
So, what do I do? Negative e to the x.
Oh, so you're taking out negative e to the x, yep, like that?
Is that right?
Yep.
And then in brackets 1 plus 2x.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All over e to the 2x.
Perfect. Okay,
Is that?
is that your last line?
Yeah.
Just before I ask something, just with the factorization, because it depends what you kind of factorize out and stuff, you might have a slightly different answer. Like, did anyone factorize out e to the x and they have like what would they have in there? Like 2x minus 1 or something like that. I don't know if you guys had that or no. What did everyone have this one then? Or, yeah, you had that? Here, you guys. Yeah? Okay, perfect. That's fine. Yeah. Happy?
Hey, sir.
Yep.
On the bottom, can you break e to the 2x into e to the x times e to the x?
Good question.
Cancel it out.
So you want to simplify this and this.
Yeah.
Can we do that? So what Theo is saying is, can I get rid of that and that whole thing? Yeah? What do you guys reckon?
Because e to the 2x is the same as e to the x times e to the x, yeah?
It's funny because by doing this here, it's fine to simplify it, right? But by doing this, you kind of actually lose a little bit of the information as well. It makes you doubt whether you can do that. What did you guys conclude?
I looked and I was like,
You-
I didn't think of that.
I wrote it, I did it so, yeah, e to the x on the top and then e to the x all squared. Then I cancelled the squared with the whole e to the x.
If you're not convinced by this, right, another way you can write this, what does e to the x all squared actually mean? It just means,
E to the x times e.
yeah, so if you write it out like this, maybe that's a bit clearer why you can't just divide these through together, because that's one thing, that's another thing. You can divide them through, they'll simplify out, and then you do get left with e to the x in the denominator, okay? So if something isn't, if you're not too sure, you can test it out or you can write it in a different way and see if that helps. What that means is I'm gonna expand this out actually, because I just don't like leaving a negative there. So I'm gonna have, they're both gonna be negative, so it's not gonna be super nice. It's just gonna be like this, I guess. Is that what your final answer was?
That is, yes.
Yep.
That's my final answer.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Okay, Alice is shaking your head, so.
I know what I did.
Yeah, good.
Yes, it is. That's,
It is? Okay, great. What did you do?
I didn't multiply.
Ah, classic, yeah. And I was just going around and seeing a few people, they mix up their U's and V's. The mistakes that you make, they'll feel very silly. And unfortunately, it's those kind of mistakes that cost people. It's not the actual quotient rule itself. It's just, mixing up the U's and V's, or maybe you just expanded wrong or something like that. So I guess my suggestion for something like that is anytime you make a mistake, just write it down, have a separate place where you write down little mistakes that you make, even if it's very minor. And so next time you're doing a problem, then you'll make sure to look out for that. So even right now, if you made a mistake mixing up U's and V's, I would write that down and make sure that you've made a note of that somewhere, okay?